Did you know that gorillas will burp when they're happy? Or that geckos lick their eyes to keep them clean because they don't have eyelids? And that's just facts number one and two. Animals are amazing, and today I want to share some of the most random animal facts that I could find. Let me know in the comments section how many of these surprised you. Let's get into it. Sick crows will use ants to feel better. When a crow gets sick, rather than going to CVS, it will head over to the nearest ant hole, spread its wings, and wait for the ants to crawl all over its body. As the ants crawl across the crow's body, they release formic acid, a substance which helps get rid of parasites, certain fungi, and bacteria. The crow world's penicillin, which allows the crows to recover and feel a lot better. Polar bears are not actually white. The skin of a polar bear is very dark, which helps it absorb and retain the heat that their environment is lacking. If you took a closer look at those individual hairs, you would see that they're actually hollow. The purpose of these hollow tubes is to function like mini magnifying glasses, taking the sun's heat and concentrating it onto the polar bear's skin. So the next time you see a polar bear acting all tough in the cold, just know that it's got a secret internal heater. Have you ever wondered how far down into the ground earthworms go? While they typically live in the top 3 feet of soil, in times of drought or during the winter, they've been known to go a lot deeper than that. Certain species of earthworms have been found as deep as 10 feet below the surface. Blobfish often win the title of the world's most ugly animal, but calling them ugly is a little bit unfair. When a blobfish is at its natural habitat of 2,000 to 4,000 feet below sea level, they actually look like a pretty standard fish. The intense pressure at this depth is actually what the body structure is used to, and it keeps them intact. When blobfish are brought to the surface, the lack of pressure causes them to swell up, collapsing their body tissues and resulting in the blobby, gelatinous appearance for which they are internet famous. Everyone's favorite little trash goblin, the opossum, is not struggling to keep its numbers up. In fact, they're reproduction superstars. An opossum can have up to 13 surviving babies per litter, with up to 3 litters per year. Meaning when a female opossum is in the reproductive phase of its life, it could be shooting out up to 39 babies per year. That's a lot of birthdays to remember. If you thought the human cardiovascular system was hard to understand, octopi have 3 hearts. 2 of these hearts pump blood to the gills where they pick up oxygen, while the third pumps the oxygenated blood to the rest of the body. While we're talking about octopi blood, did you know that it's blue? This is due to the presence of hemocyanin, which is a protein rich in copper that helps transport oxygen and gives blood a blue color. Woodpeckers are not always pecking on wood. In fact, in 2025, there was one woodpecker menace in Massachusetts that damaged more than 20 cars by pecking away at the windows and mirrors. Reports described him as 18 to 24 inches tall, wearing black and white with a red hat. No, and this is not a joke. And as far as my research can tell, he has not been caught and is still running from the law. Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins can. They can slow their heart rate so effectively that they can hold their breath for up to 40 full minutes. For dolphins, 8 to 10 minutes is the typical length of time they spend underwater before emerging for a breath of fresh air. A shrimp's heart is actually located in its head, right below the brain. Axolotls are like real life Pokemon, and it's not just how they look. Axolotls have the ability to regenerate limbs that have been cut off. And I'm not talking just fingers and arms here. If an axolotl happens to get separated from its heart or brain, it'll simply regrow another one in its place, which makes me wonder if it'll have the same memories or personality. What insect has the best jump relative to its size? The answer is the froghopper, which has nothing to do with an actual frog. The froghopper can jump a distance of 100 times their body length. For comparison, this would be the equivalent of a 6-foot human being able to jump nearly 2 American football fields. Elephants can hear with their feet, sort of. These tree trunk feet are made for walking, but that's not all they'll do. Elephant feet have specialized nerve receptors that function to pick up seismic vibration. These vibrations allow them to communicate with each other, detect predators, and sense environmental conditions such as thunderstorms. Wombat poop is cube-shaped. It is believed that the reason for this is that the shape helps it stay in place better to mark its territory. It might mark the territory better, but sure sounds uncomfortable to me. I can think of 3 better ways to mark my territory. Jellyfish have the casual ability to live forever. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. This specific species of jellyfish has been observed reverting to its immature form when exposed to stress or damage. As far as we know, this can be repeated indefinitely, allowing the jellyfish to dodge the afterlife, although it can still pass to the other side due to predators or disease. This whole thing is a lot like the Avatar cycle. Pistol shrimp stun their prey with sound. Their claw snaps create a sonic boom that can reach 218 decibels, louder than a gunshot. This leaves their prey dazed, confused, and ready to be eaten. Cows have best friends. Research has shown that when cows are separated from their special friend, they experience stress, which is both the saddest and cutest thing that I've heard all day. Hey guys, have you seen John anywhere? Greg, I'm right here. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance, which is just about as fun as you would expect. During times of drought, when resources are scarce, certain species of snails can sleep for up to 3 years. This state of prolonged dormancy allows them to significantly slow down their metabolism and conserve resources until environmental conditions improve. Alfred Hitchcock was onto something when he made the famous horror movie The Birds. Don't ever get on the bad side of a crow, because they can hold grudges. These animals have amazing face recognition abilities and an excellent memory. Crows have been proven to remember human faces for multiple years and can even share information about dangerous humans amongst other crows. This dude's a jerk, no breadcrumbs. In the world of seahorses, the father is actually the one that gives birth to the young. When a seahorse mates, the female injects an egg into the male, where he'll fertilize it and then carry the young. Butterflies taste things with their feet. When they land on objects, they will use chemoreceptors on their feet to essentially taste whatever surface that they've just landed on. If the surface is bitter or toxic, they'll move on, but if something tastes sweet, they'll uncoil their proboscis, which is like a mouth tube, and dig in. Which, can you imagine if this is how humans worked? Like, you're just sitting at a restaurant, hey, mind if I try a bite of your pasta? Yeah, no problem. Oh, come on! What, you said I could try it? Well, I didn't think you put your foot in it. Well, I wanted to taste it, man. Why would I just want to put it in my mouth? Bam, dinner is ruined and awkward for everyone now, and I bet the pasta wasn't even that good. Koalas have been committing crimes and framing humans for decades. Potentially. Just like humans, every koala bear has a unique fingerprint on both their fingers and their toes. These fingerprints are extremely similar in shape and pattern to humans and often cannot be distinguished. Dolphins give each other names. That's right, those dolphin chirps and squeaks that you've heard before are not just dolphin gibberish. Dolphins will assign each friend a unique squeaky name. I'm gonna name you... Narwhals are known for their signature unicorn forehead horn that can grow up to 10 feet long. Except it's not a horn. This is actually a tooth, making it the largest known tooth in the animal kingdom. Dude's out here looking like the Timmy Turner of the fish world. If you were to take a tiger and shave it, you might be surprised to see that not only the tigers have striped fur, but their skin is also striped. The birthday suit matches the coat. Certain types of shark can live for an impressively long amount of time. It's estimated that the Greenland shark can live up to 500 years old, meaning that there are sharks alive today that were born in 1525, which is just low-key insane. The Pilgrims came to America in 1620 and could have seen a 100-year-old shark that's still alive today. Alright, this one is pretty gross, so viewer discretion is advised. Pregnancy tests are generally not used in the animal kingdom, but male giraffes are able to check for female fertility by tasting their urine. Someone please make a pregnancy test for giraffes so these guys can stop. A group of porcupines is called a prickle, which sounds a little bit less severe than the amount of damage a group of porcupines could really cause, but kudos for being somewhat descriptive. Ostriches have the largest eyes of any land animal. Their eyes have a diameter of 2 inches long and are bigger than their brains. For comparison, a human eye has a diameter of about 1 inch. Picture in your mind the Golden Gate Bridge. Now picture it made out of ants. Slightly horrifying, but still very cool. Ants can build themselves living bridges using their bodies to span gaps and make traversal easier for the nest. The parrotfish poops sand. That's right, this beautiful fish eats coral as part of its diet, where it is ground up into sand by the fish's digestive system. The result? Up to 200 pounds of sand produced per year per fish. Humans are not the only species to propose with special gifts. Penguins propose with pebbles. Male penguins will search long and hard for the perfect rock to give a potential mate as a sign of affection. If the female accepts, they'll use this pebble to begin building a nest, making the gift both practical and romantic. Sea otters hold paws while they sleep. Aside from being cute, it makes sure that they don't drift apart while they snooze. This behavior is known as rafting and has to be one of the cutest things in the animal kingdom. Can you imagine if they didn't? Go to bed and wake up in the middle of the ocean? Guys? A newborn kangaroo is the size of a jelly bean, and kinda looks like one too. Luckily, it has a 5-month full-time stay booked at the Pouch Inn, so it can grow safely. Lyrebirds are the world's best impersonators. Not only can they mimic the sound of over 20 different birds, they also have been observed mimicking chainsaw noises and camera clicks. So for all of you complaining about hearing bird chirps at 5 a.m., at least your birds don't sound like literal chainsaws. Sharks are not the biggest and baddest in the ocean like they pretend to be. Turns out that orcas are the apex predator and will hunt sharks. Manatees can control buoyancy through their gas reserves. That's right, just like an underwater submarine, the gas within them keeps them buoyant, meaning that lowering is just a matter of... Did you know that rats laugh when they're tickled? Not sure what kind of situation you'd be in that you're tickling a rat, but now you know. A group of ravens is called a murder, because apparently even their social lives are straight out of a horror movie. Dogs have unique nose prints, like tiny, wet fingerprints they insist on pressing all over your clean pants. Starfish have no brains and no blood. They use water to circulate nutrients in their body. As for brains, I guess Patrick's whole personality is starting to make a lot more sense. During mating, a male anglerfish will fuse to the female, becoming a permanent part of her body. This fusion allows them to share blood and tissues in a nutrient-poor environment. The male essentially becomes a sperm-producing appendage on the female, which is convenient when you live in a deep ocean where finding a mate can be a little bit difficult. Talk about a parasitic partner. Tarantulas can live up to 2 years without food, thanks to their extremely low metabolism, which definitely comes in handy in times of drought or when food is scarce. It's like the ultimate crash diet. As if looking like a rejected Pokemon wasn't enough, the platypus is venomous. These little Pablo Picasso paintings have a spur on the back of their legs that can inject potential predators with venom if needed. Add snake to the list of animals that a platypus kind of resembles. And that's 47 amazing animal facts. Let me know in the comments below if you learned something new, or if I missed your favorite animal fact. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video if you haven't already. It helps me a lot. Thanks for watching.